If you're looking to enhance your current skills or gain an entirely new skill set, now is the time to register for fall classes at the Warren Forest High Ed Council. For 40 years, the Warren Forest High Ed Council has been providing education services in Warren and Forest County. The fall 2024 schedule includes welding, blueprint reading, basic shop math, computer courses, and emotional intelligence and leadership. For more information or to register, go to high-ed.org or call 814-723-3222.
Located at 16 West Main Street in Youngsville, Cam's Logging Supplies and Outdoor Ware's goal is to provide customers in Warren County with logging supplies, boots, and clothing at a reasonable price and within a short distance from home. We also offer so much more, including indoor golf and axe throwing, games of chance, and local pool leagues. If there's something you want and we don't have it, let us know and we will be happy to try and find it for you. At Cam's, we also sell hunting and fishing licenses and look forward to serving you. Give us a call today at 814-688-3146. Stop in and see us or visit us online at camsloggingsupplies.com.
If you're ready to buy or sell your home, then stop in at 4234 Market Street to let one of the agents at Howard Hanna Professionals help. Our friendly and knowledgeable agents can help you find the key to your dream home. Looking for a new career? Howard Hanna Professionals can help there too. Howard Hanna Professionals will assist new and experienced agents with the startup fees for an exciting career in real estate. Call Katrina Laurie at 814-726-2000 for more information.
Here at Casella, we make temporary dumpster rental easy, offering services that are perfect for construction, remodeling, special events, or other short-term projects. Casella dumpsters are available in a wide range of sizes to fit any job. Our dedicated customer service team will help you choose the right size container and service level for your project and schedule hassle-free removal based on your specific needs. The right size dumpster, when you want it, where you want it, removed when you say so.
Good morning, everyone. Welcome into Coffee and a Conversation. Brian Hagberg with you on your Daily Local. Joined this week by Jim Decker of the Warren County Chamber of Business and Industry. But more importantly today, Jim, we're talking Jake's Rocks Trail Fest. And I know that's an event that's near and dear to your heart. You really enjoy the mountain biking generally, but Trail Fest really seems to be something that you take great pride in.
Oh, it's a great event. It's been going into our 10th year now. It's really great and rewarding to see folks come from all over the East Coast to enjoy the Trails of Jake's Rocks Trail of the Year this year.
Yeah,
which we certainly expect will help with the attendance. It's really kind of put the trail system on the map, if you will, and legitimized what we knew is one of the best trail systems in the state, let alone the East Coast. So looking forward to a great weekend up at Jake's and kicking it off Thursday night, the 19th at Docksiders. Yeah. Unusual to have an evening at Docksiders in September. So we've got Darkwater Duo playing. You got a food truck. We'll have the Docksiders will be open. So open to the public. You don't have to be a mountain biker to enjoy that. So come out and have some fun.
It sounds like a good time. And, you mentioned already the 2024 Pennsylvania Trail of the Year, Jake's Rocks, or Trails of Jake's Rocks, and you said you've had the sign up there for a while now, but this coming Friday, September 6th, you guys going to make it official with all the dignitaries and have a little ceremony up at the trails.
Yeah, really proud to have Secretary Dunn from the Pennsylvania Department of Conservation and Natural Resources, who conveys the Trail of the Year award every year. Coming up to make the formal presentation, Congressman Thompson will be with us, as well as Kathy Rapp, Scott Hutchinson, and a few representatives of the Forest Service, and our NAMBA, the Northern Allegheny Mountain Bike Association, just really highlighting the impact that the Trails of Jake's Rocks has had on our community overall in the state. So it's a great honor to receive that designation.
Well, and that's not the only one, right? I mean, Trailfest itself got right from the PA Wilds.
PA Wilds to Event of the Year.
Yeah.
So, it's been a celebratory year. Yeah. Between the River of the Year, Trail of the Year, Event of the Year. Yeah, the expectations are pretty high.
Well, so far it seems like we're meeting, maybe exceeding them a little bit. You mentioned being at Docksiders on Thursday night. It seems like that's almost like a nice little way to tie in. Oh, hey, by the way, we've got the River of the Year right down here too.
Same water, right?
Yeah,
that's where it all starts.
and so, what does that expansion now to an event on Thursday night say to you about the growth and development and popularity of Trailfest?
Well, we know there's people coming in. We fill up the Dewdrop Campground with the inception of the Trail Fest. We were able to convince Allegheny Site Management. Didn't take a lot of convincing, but we say, yeah, keep your. They usually close on Labor Day, so they've been willing to stay open for the month of September. And our users of the trail have been filling up Dewdrop Campground for the month of September.
Wow.
So again, that economic impact that the trail system has, but then we continue to see growth. We have people coming in on Wednesday and Thursday night. So they were asking for some activity and something to do. So we said, hey, what better way to get a great band that everybody likes to listen to, and they've got a good regional following. Get the opportunity to kind of show the biking community that Docksiders exists, so they know it's there, and hopefully it'll continue to go back when they come back to see us next year when Docksiders reopens for 2025. But again, trying to make those connections between the operating businesses, the trails, really emphasize the economic impact that the trail system can have. Because we're bringing a bunch of people here every year.
Well, and like you said, I mean, just the simple fact that this event has gotten so big that it's really necessitated keeping the campgrounds open for the entire month of September now. Right. I mean, not just the trails, like you said, but the camping, Docksider, the river's right there, plus all that stuff that, the chamber and everybody's trying to do now to bring people into other places, into town throughout the county. And it really seems like it opens up an avenue to showcase all those other things.
Yeah, we're making a better connection between the trails of Jake's Rocks and the Allegheny National Forest as a whole in the community of Warren and Canaan, McKean County and Bradford and so forth. Good example, we had a group come up from Pittsburgh. Every year they come to Jake's Rocks and ride for the weekend. Weather was bad on Saturday. I commiserated with them. So sorry, we couldn't get out and ride very much because it's raining like crazy. And they said, oh, it's great. We came downtown. A group of 40 came downtown. They did what they called the bar crawl. Loved Wicked
May have done that at times.
So the upshot was that next year we're going to make that a part of our weekend. Right. We had such a good time when they came into downtown Warren, and they hit Christie's, they hit Bent Run, they hit Wicked Warren, they hit the Plaza, and so it's going to be now a part of their getaway, which is fantastic. I mean, they're not just coming to the campground, bringing their own beer, bringing their own bread, and we never see them again. So it's good. And the more we show that to the community of Warren, the businesses of Warren, the better off we all are.
Do you get more buy-in, I guess, from those businesses? I know there's times that they've got to obviously make scheduling decisions based on their, when the regular customers come in. But when you can go to them and say, hey, we've got, X amount of people that we're expecting here, we're going to create this event intended to bring them down. Is it easier to kind of sell them, just stay open for a couple hours and be here for people to take advantage?
Yeah, I think the awareness is improving. And we've got to do a little better job of letting them know when these special events, when these bigger groups are coming in. And I think pretty much every weekend Dewdrop is sold out for users of the plan. But when we have a group from New York State that comes down, then they have a defined weekend. When the group comes back up from Pittsburgh, we had the Pennsylvania Interscholastic Cycling League was here last weekend. They did an event at Jake's. First time kids from all over the state came up and they were doing it. So we need to do a better job of communicating that so that folks are aware when they get here and they may see that little spurt in business.
Now, and is that, I know the chamber is very closely aligned with Warren Works and marketing the county. Does that seem like a kind of a fit then for a Warren Works organization to say, hey, this is something that, we can, as marketing the county, kind of take the lead on and say, hey, we're going to make sure that everybody knows what's going on.
Absolutely. That marketing, getting it out there, we need to better communicate externally who we are and say that with one voice and make sure that we're we're giving the same message across the board. But that external message goes internal as well so that people understand what's happening. And it's kind of fun. I like going to Jake's on Tuesday evening when there's nobody there, right? But it's really nice to go up there on a Friday or a Saturday when you know there's going to be a group and you can look around, you can meet people from all over and you see the license plate. You got to do a license plate game when you're driving on the interstate and see how many
driving through the parking lot.
You just do it through the parking lot. Yeah. So it's a lot of fun. People it's always good to interact with people. So
So, what kind of growth and where is this event at now? From you mentioned it's 10 years old. It's on the decade. From the first year that it was held to now, what do you think has been the biggest impetus behind the growth that it's seen?
Well, obviously the growth of the trail system itself.
Right,
So when our first event, we had 10 miles of trail. We now have 35 miles of trail. We're at the point now where we are considered in the mountain biking community to be a destination trail. We've got enough variety. We've got enough mileage that people are willing to drive 4, 5, 6 hours to take advantage of it. We spend a lot of time maintaining trails. Thank God we've got volunteers that spend hours and hours weed whacking and leaf blowing and stuff. So our trails are in great shape. People can expect that as what they intend to find and they need to find. So I think the biggest piece is that word of mouth marketing's been a little better, but people in general, usage numbers for the trails this year is up 15% from last year. So
we can't complain about that.
Can't complain about that. And a lot of it's the trail of the year. I mean, they put us on the map. So I think it's a general, people are looking for the festival. They're looking for that festival atmosphere. They're really looking for the shuttles. Yeah. So I'm hoping everybody buys an e-bike eventually and we don't have to pay for the shuttles. But that's a big piece of the festival. Is being able to shuttle from the bottom of the hill up to the top and just not wear yourself out climbing the hills. So as long as they're younger than me, I don't mind. Get on the shuttle.
Well, and how much of it do you think is just getting people there? We co-produced a podcast covering the Damien Sharp case a couple of years ago, and one of the things that we did as part of that podcast was we took some cadaver dogs out up in that whole Jake's Rocks Forest area because that's one of the rumored spots, right? But one of the things that we heard from the group with the dogs that came in was just wow. I had no idea this was here, and so how much of growing this event has been just getting people there beyond festival weekend and understanding that it's like you said, a destination trail.
I think it comes. We really haven't done a lot of marketing of the trails themselves. Just from the setup of it. So we rely on Facebook and word of mouth and so forth. So with some of the work that's going to be done through Warren Works and that overall county marketing, outdoor recreation is a big piece of that, and Jake's Rocks is a big piece of our outdoor So it's really making some groups aware of it. I mentioned the NICA, the Scholastic group that came up. Got an email from a guy that actually reported he found a tree down that we need to get taken care of. So that's good. But he said, I'm from Pittsburgh. I've been up there a lot of times, but most of the group of high school age kids had not been to Jake's. They had a great time. They were exposed to a great trail system. A couple of them said new most favorite trail. So again, it's just getting that exposure. And I think it comes from verification from riders who come up that are, we've got a couple of influencer people who are making posts now in Facebook and verifying, hey, this is a quality trail system. And that's what it takes.
Well, and how much you mentioned the influencers and people making posts and stuff. How much of a game changer has it been to have that Wi-Fi connection down at Kinzig Point for people to not have to go miles in either direction to be able to do things like that?
Yeah, I think it's been a really positive situation across the board. I go past every time I go up there. There's usually one or two trucks or vehicles sitting in the parking lot, and I know they're using the Wi-Fi. I know that the construction group, I see their truck in there a lot this summer as they're working on the bridge and working on Long House Drive. So I think overall, just the safety aspect of having that there is really worked out well. So I'm sure that some of those riders are using it as well, or they figured out there's 3 or 4 spots on the trail.
You're up high enough, you get a little signal.
You get a little signal, and you can do it from there. And our Purple Lizard map through the trail system actually calls out cell service.
Interesting.
So it's there's a couple of places where you can get pretty good service, and I try to turn my phone off when I go through those.
You mentioned the Scholastic cycling group that came up. How important is it to have those kind of groups that are geared towards a younger audience? not only bringing them up to the trails, but just getting them interested in cycling and mountain biking.
And we're not a participant. We don't have a local team. We've talked about it. The NAMA guys have talked about it a lot to try to get that. How do you make the connection and get youth engaged in the trail system, in mountain biking, in any outdoor recreation activities? We've seen some. I know a couple of years ago, I ran into a mother who was up sitting in the parking lot reading a book, and she was chatted with her a little bit, and she was just so thankful for having the trails. Because their kids have been doing the bike park down at Beatty Park and the skate park, and but she wasn't happy with who they were kind of starting to hang out with, and you have that kind of thing. He said he loves bringing them up, the two of them, and they would go out, they'd ride, and they'd be here for hours. And
she gets some reading in, and
she got some reading in, some quiet time, and she was, but you don't have that concern over interacting with maybe the wrong crowd. You're up here enjoying nature, and it's good for them. So. The more we can do of that, if we can figure out ways to get engaged with the youth and get them involved in bicycles, the better off we are.
Well, and I mean, it's not like the trails are necessarily an easy place where you can go sit around and kind of peddle your nefarious wares, right? So just the natural topography of the land makes that if you're on the trails, you better be riding or hiking if that's your preference. But
you get enough traffic flow there that it really does keep down. I've just been amazed. We've had zero garbage issues. We've never found any litter anywhere either in the parking lots or on the trails themselves. I mean, people are taking care of it. They're using it as their own, and we haven't had any kind of vandalism issues on any of our trails. And I think it comes to the traffic. There's just a good positive traffic flow. And we've had this conversation with redeveloping a place like Washington Park. It's notorious for bad activities. You put something positive there as an attraction to get people to come up in a positive manner. Then it kind of drives out the negative.
It naturally chases away that. So, so you mentioned a while ago, people getting with the e-bikes and things like that. How has that kind of transition been received among the biking community and at the trails especially? I know there's some people who are not fans of e-bikes generally, but does it seem like there's been a pretty smooth transition from that the crowd using the e-bikes?
We have not seen any negative interaction whatsoever with the e-bikes, and there will always be two camps, the traditionalists and those that think that e-bikes are a good thing. I think for what I've seen, and as I get older, e-bikes look a hell of a lot more attractive. But it does change the dynamic. I've been reading some reports that from an overall conditioning piece, it allows you to maintain a more steady heart rate when you're riding, so that it's actually a better form of activity and exercise. Because it allows you to extend your exercise period, and it's not the highs and the lows where you have the peaks. But from an operational interaction standpoint, we haven't had anybody run over by an e-bike. The only frustration I see is someone younger than me going past me, going up a hill on an e-bike. So I think there should be an age limit. But it's where the technology is, and that technology has skyrocketed in the last couple of years. So I'm really thankful for the Forest Service for making the decision to allow them on Jake's, and I see that will probably transcend over to other trail systems. Shortly.
Now with those, is there does it become a point where you need to post speed limits for that? I mean, I know there's somebody that rides an e-bike back and forth, I'm assuming, to their job, and they come by our kids' bus stop every morning, and they're going down Conowongo Avenue at a pretty good clip.
Those aren't the type of e-bikes that are allowed at Jake's Rock. So the e-bike class 1 e-bikes only are allowed at Jake's Rocks, and they are a pedal assist. They don't have a throttle.
Gotcha.
The motor actually kicks out at 28 miles an hour. So no matter what you're doing, if you go over 28, you're doing it on your own. So different animal. I agree. The ones you see flying around town, scary. And I'm not sure the ones that are some of the people that are riding them have ridden biking a long time. So probably jumping on one of those might not have been the best idea.
I see that, and not to say that they're necessarily doing it wrong or anything, but I see that guy driving by every morning, and I'm just thinking, I haven't been on a bike myself, a regular bike, in a long time. I don't know that I would trust myself to get on that thing and just throttle up and off you go.
Yeah.
But
I ride a bike a lot,
Yeah.
and then there's times like I don't think I want to be going that fast. not downtown, not on the sidewalk.
Right. Now, you mentioned with that particular class E-bike that
Mhm.
they throttle out at a certain speed. Does that allow it to in some ways be a little safer, especially when you're coming up and down hills? And
Well, it doesn't control your maximum speed, but
Okay.
you don't get any power assist above 28.
Mhm.
So if you're going down a hill and you pass 28, then the motor just kicks out,
Right.
and you're freewheeling, if you will.
Mhm.
So it is a
But
safety.
would it be like, you'd hear or have an indication, right, that the
Mhm.
motor went out, and maybe that's telling you, oh, hey, I need to
If you're
back
going over
this off.
28
Yeah.
on a mountain bike down a hill in the woods,
Yeah.
you're going way too
Right.
fast. Yeah, you really don't need any more warning than the
Yeah.
fact that the trees are coming up pretty quick.
Right. And so how did you get started mountain biking? I mean, this has been a lifelong thing. Did you just pick it up one day and say, hey, this looks fun to try? How did you get involved in mountain biking?
Yeah, well, I got involved in the mountain biking when we got involved in the trail
Yeah,
system.
okay.
So prior to that, we were riding nothing but road bikes,
Yeah.
and got into that carryover from a spin class. So we got into that
Yeah.
cycling thing, and we started involved with the trail system. I guess I better try this mountain biking
Right.
thing. And then we find it's a really neat communal kind of sport.
Yeah.
And people have fun with it, and they're out there. You very rarely find a mad mountain biker.
Right. Well,
Crazy, but
maybe-
not mad.
maybe after they've come to a stop going down the hill at 30 miles an
Yeah.
hour.
Yeah, they're just a
Yeah.
laid back community. They're out there to have fun. They're enjoying the outdoors and outdoor recreation. And they say it's hard to find a mad mountain biker.
And how does that communal aspect kind of play into the way an event like Trail Fest has grown? Because I'm sure, people are talking to each other,
Mhm.
right? And, somebody comes for the first time, and then they're going back to wherever their home community is going, hey, you got to come check this
They had
place
a great
out.
time. Yeah, I think everybody likes to get together in their area of recreation. So having the opportunity to go out and ride all day and have the shuttles, so you're interacting with people,
Yeah.
and then going after you've ridden for 4 or 5 or 6 or 8 hours, whatever you do,
Yeah.
to go back and have great food,
Mhm.
have some really good beer,
Yeah.
listen to some good music, and then walk around and look at our vendors and see the latest bikes.
Yeah.
And that's the one I need to get to,
Right.
kind
Yeah.
of thing. Yeah, I think it's a culmination of a great summer of riding, and it's a good way to end the
Yeah.
season.
Yeah, I mean, it seems like late September is. I was just going to say, it kind of seems like, hey, we're closing out the. I mean, obviously, you probably get some foliage looks
Mhm.
through October, but you never know,
You never
right?
know,
With
yeah.
October weather around here, but and what have you had a chance to go out during some of those peak foliage times and ride the trails? And
Oh, yeah.
what is that like?
It's pretty neat. We spent a lot of time up there on those peak foliage,
Oh, yeah.
just past peak, and blowing
Yeah.
the leaves off the trails.
Oh
So we try to keep them clean and safe. But yeah, it is absolutely gorgeous there. It's always the second week in June when the mountain laurel comes into bloom. And then you hit it again in October when it's the fall peak season,
Yeah.
and you're in a different world. So every time you go to the trails, it's different. Every trail you ride is different each way.
Yeah.
So it's never boring. Never boring.
And so, are there future plans for trail expansion, addition? What can we expect to see from Trails of Jake's Rocks?
There's
coming
still
up?
about 12 miles of trail in the original plan that has been cleared with the environmental assessment that was completed that is necessary. It all runs parallel to Route 59 and the reservoir, and then Longhouse Scenic Drive. So it actually would run all the way from the Kinzua Dam over to Route 321.
Wow.
So the big piece of that is it connects the dam to Kinzua Point Information Center, to Dewdrop Campground, to the boat launch, to Kayasutha, and then again over to Red Bridge. But it's a really expensive section. So it's probably $2 million to build that 12 to 13 miles of trail. So one of the things we've been waiting for was the reconstruction of Longhouse Drive.
Right.
Just with the idea that they're changing the flow of stormwater.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
So
Yeah.
but they're replacing culverts. It shouldn't change where the water goes, but anytime you mess
Yeah.
with it, it
Probably
goes someplace
good
different.
idea to see where it's going to go now. And
So that was kind of the one to say, well, let's wait and make
Yeah.
sure we get that done ahead of time.
Right.
So that'll be finished this year and next year. So, somebody will probably be looking in earnest to
Mhm.
find the funds to put those trail in. From there, it's there's a lot of property out there,
right.
but we need to look at frankly, be pretty precise in saying when do you get to the point where if we add another 15
Becomes
miles,
too much.
do we get the exponentially increase the ridership?
Yeah.
So I think it's more looking at, do we have the right kind of trails, the right mix of trails?
Mhm.
One of the things that we have talked about is adding an adaptive cycling route
Right.
to make it available and accessible to handicapped. So that might be a system of trails that we would add beyond the 12 miles that are still on the track.
Right.
But I think it's more strategic in terms of the type of trail that you might think about buying a building as opposed to just putting more in.
Right. Yeah.
So I think 35 miles with as much diversity as we have is
Right. Yeah.
pretty darn good.
Yeah.
And to go to 50, I don't think we'd see an exponential jump
Right.
in usership.
Yeah. So it's not like you're going to Trail Fest or stopping up throughout the year and you're getting a lot of feedback. Oh man, I wish there was some more for me to do. It seems like at this point anyway, it's a good size for what people are looking.
It's a good size for you. I mean, you got a lot. We've got a lot of something for everybody. We do hear, we'd like to have jump lines. So
Yeah.
kind of the downhill stuff.
Right.
So there's those segments of the riding community that have things that they really like. The Allegheny NAR group out in Oil City is doing a great job building downhill race courses.
Yeah.
So it's that niche.
Right.
And our topography doesn't really lend itself to that. So
Okay.
we can't be all things to all people.
Right, yeah.
So we look at it and say, we're kind of shooting middle of the road.
Mhm.
We've got enough to keep the high end riders excited
Yeah.
and challenged, but the growth in mountain biking from the reports we're reading now is really in that center core, more of not a leisurely ride,
Right. Yeah.
but not the Red Bull Rampage kind of
Yeah.
stuff either.
Now, is there a niche or a market or something where maybe down the line, we could see a big, maybe midsummer kind of, cross country as opposed to a downhill race, like a cross country style race up there that maybe brings in a second big event to the.
I think it's obvious. Well, the Allegheny, the Jake's Gravity ride,
Right, yeah.
the Enduro,
Yeah.
was last weekend, and we've talked to them about, okay, how do we take it from that race? How do you blow it up and turn
Right.
it into a weekend
Yeah.
long event? So, I think it's certainly possible. It takes one of the problems is finding a free weekend.
Well, yeah. Yeah.
That there isn't already a group coming in to do a private event, if you will.
Right.
It just fits in the schedule. So it's different. Racing is not what a lot of people want to do when they're riding. So again, that festival event. Well, I think the growth for Trail Fest is actually growing outside of just being a mountain bike event. Finding ways to celebrate the North Country Trail.
Yeah.
Celebrate the water sports that are available. Celebrate the hunting and fishing, and make it kind of the outdoor, the old chamber outdoor show that we used to do.
Yeah.
To get those other elements of outdoor recreation all represented at one time at one event.
Yeah.
We could have one tremendous event.
You almost need to convince the USCA to hold the canoe and kayak championships the same weekend as Trail Fest, right? Really,
do the sprints out on
Yeah.
the lake, and we did talk about doing starting at the Kinzu Beach with the USCA and going down a portage over the Kinzu Dam and then finish on the river. The Corley's a little bit hesitant about climbing over the dam for some reason, but
so how receptive, how easy has it been to work with like the Forest Service and the people that need all those agencies that have a little say in how
Yeah.
things are done there. I mean, has it been pretty easy to get them on board with things that have?
They've been up for all the naysayers back in 2009 when this all started.
Yeah.
It said the Forest Service will never let you do that. We've proven them wrong over and over and over again. And we've got a fantastic working relationship with the Forest Service, the Corps of Engineers. Granted, there's a process.
Yeah.
And you got to follow the process, which is fine. I mean, it protects the assets for everybody.
Yeah.
But
you can't just go in there and start bulldozing trails away. And,
Right.
Yeah.
They've have been and continue to be a fantastic partner, and with the maintenance of the trail system and so forth, it's just been a really great working relationship and good people, and who are all focused on the same thing, which makes it really easy.
Yeah. Well, and I think it's, the results I think speak for themselves, right?
Yeah.
I mean, Trail of the Year right now, the event of the year from the PA Wilds, and this is going to be what, the
10th year.
10th year of Trail Fest coming up here in a couple of weeks, and it just keeps getting bigger. I heard last year we had some folks even from the West Coast coming out with California.
California. The year before that, we had some folks from Colorado, and we get to
a good state, Colorado.
Good place. Yeah, it's a neat place.
Yeah, it is.
Big play out of Canada. We get a lot of Canadians that
yeah.
come down, and I encourage everybody to, again, it's not just a mountain biking event.
Right. Yeah.
Kinzu Beach will be full. We've got bike vendors. We've got a couple other.
You got food trucks and
food
stuff
trucks.
coming in.
So we get the beer tent will be
Yeah.
going. We got music playing throughout the weekend. It kicks off Thursday night again at Docksiders. So come on out and join us. See what it's like. Meet some people, and everybody have a good time. And the trails at Jake's Rocks are open for walkers, hikers, walkers, trail runners.
Yeah.
Might not be the best weekend.
You probably don't
To
want to
go
be
walk
going
for
walking on the trails that weekend.
It might not be the best time to do it, but you'll certainly run into a lot of bikers. But it's a great event. We hope to see a lot of people there.
All right. Well, Jim, I know you're anxious to get out of here, so you got yourself a little trip coming up this weekend. So we don't.
Well, I got some grandkids that came in for the weekend, so I get to get to catch up with them for a little bit.
Well, thank you so much for taking some time to catch up with us, and looking forward to seeing the big ceremony coming up on Friday, and of course Trail Fest beginning September 19th on the Thursday at Docksiders, and then all weekend long up at the trails at Jake's Rocks. 10th year, anticipate it's going to be a great event. Hold on the weather, and
It's all right, rain or shine.
There you go.
We're all good. Brian, thanks for having me.
Thank you so much, Jim. And that'll do it for this episode of Coffee and a Conversation. I want to thank all of you for tuning in today. Thanks so much for watching, and enjoy the rest of your weekend.
If you're ready to buy or sell your home, then stop in at 4234 Market Street to let one of the agents at Howard Hanna Professionals help. Our friendly and knowledgeable agents can help you find the key to your dream home. Looking for a new career? Howard Hanna Professionals can help there too. Howard Hanna Professionals will assist new and experienced agents with the startup fees for an exciting career in real estate. Call Katrina Laurie at 814-726-2000 for more information.
Here at Casella, we make temporary dumpster rental easy, offering services that are perfect for construction, remodeling, special events, or other short-term projects. Casella dumpsters are available in a wide range of sizes to fit any job. Our dedicated customer service team will help you choose the right size container and service level for your project and schedule hassle-free removal based on your specific needs. The right size dumpster, when you want it, where you want it, removed when you say so.
If you're looking to enhance your current skills or gain an entirely new skill set, now is the time to register for fall classes at the Warren Forest High Ed Council. For 40 years, the Warren Forest High Ed Council has been providing education services in Warren and Forest County. The fall 2024 schedule includes welding, blueprint reading, basic shop math, computer courses, and emotional intelligence and leadership. For more information or to register, go to high-ed.org or call 814-723-32